Hi guys, my name is David and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be reviewing Black Sheep by Rachel Harrison. Now I got this book in my April box, my April Abominable Book Club box, where I said that I would read books only in that box, or the majority of the time anyway. That kind of was the backbone of my whole April TBR. And this was the first book that I read from that box. Now, this isn't the first thing that I've got by Rachel Harrison. I've got one other book by her that I haven't read. I read a little bit of it, then I didn't finish it. Not sure why. But that one is called Such Sharp Teeth, and there's a picture on the bottom of it, or on the back of the book rather. And yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by this book, if I can say the word properly. This was a massive surprise, and I ended up really enjoying the book. Probably not going to be my favourite book of the year, but definitely worth an honourable mention. Today I'm going to be talking about it. This is going to be my own thoughts and feelings regarding this, and this is going to be a spoiler-free video as well. I also want to say that I put the sticky book plate in the book, which is a signed copy. So that is in my copy of the book as well. So Black Sheep focuses around our main female character called Vesper, who at the start of the book, she is a waitress. Vesper is a kind of a no nonsense, feisty go-getter that doesn't really take any crap from anyone, and she's just going about her day-to-day life and trying to get by and all that stuff, like like the rest of us. But one day she gets a letter that takes her back to her childhood, her past, and this letter is a invitation to a wedding that came from one of her best friends and a boy that she had a crush on when she was younger. Now, this comes from a small religious group that Vesper was a part of when she was younger, but then when she was 18, she left this religious group, which is a cult. She hasn't really had any contact with anyone within this cult ever since, and that's despite the fact that her own parents were in this cult. Her mum is a massive member of this cult, but she hasn't heard a single thing. She hasn't got a letter, she hasn't got a text message, she hasn't got an email, she hasn't got a phone call from anybody within this from this religious cult. So when she gets this wedding invitation, she's really intrigued, and she goes back because she I think out of loyalty to her best friends, and she just wants to be there to support them both in this happy time. So when she goes back to this group of individuals, this cult, I thought that it was going to be because it does say it's a religious community on the back of the book. It does say that. So automatically you're going to assume, or I assumed rather, that it was going to be one of these religious cults that revolves around Christianity, the Bible, Jesus Christ, God, and all that stuff. But when I was reading the book, Vesper kept on talking about Satan and hell and demons, and I was thinking to myself, well, this is a kind of a weird way of her expressing herself and expressing how she feels about these members of this community. I just thought that that was the way that she expressed them thoughts and feelings, and expressed this whole religious group. I thought, okay, that was a kind of a weird way of expressing yourself, but no, it was. I was only 100 pages in. Okay, this is a satanic cult. This isn't really something that Vesper's choosing to describe them as. This is what they are. They are a satanic cult. They worship Satan, and yeah, uh, when I got my mind around that, it was a lot easier for me to um, go through this book, and kind of enjoyable as well. I also want to say at this point in time that even though this book is about Satan and hell and this group of individuals that worship Satan and worship hell, I also want to say that I am a Christian. I don't go to church. I'm usually busy, but I have started reading the Bible, which I have next to my bed. Um, so I just want to say that um, it didn't really make me feel uncomfortable um, reading a book about the devil and all these people that get down on their knees and kiss his feet or hooves or whatever. And I just want to say as well that um, well, it may not be crystal clear, but never, I don't think ever once it really bashes Christianity or Jesus or God or Christianity as a whole. So that's good. That's a good thing that Rachel kind of steered clear away from, because they could have easily um, kind of had a bash and poke at Christianity, but that was, I mean, if it might have been brought up in the book, but it wasn't really that clear. So when Vesper goes back to this cult, she is kind of embraced, immediately. Some people kind of say, "Oh, okay, Vesper's back," and it's not really a big deal. We find out about Vesper's mum that she is or was a very, very, very big horror movie star. She doesn't really show any emotion ever, no matter what's going on or towards Vesper. She doesn't definitely show any love or any affection towards her daughter. And we find out that Vesper's father was a massive part of her life. And I think Vesper in this book is a daddy's girl, but when her father left for no apparent reason, I think he said that he didn't want to go, but he had to go. Vesper is trying to deal with the fact that why did he have to go, and she misses him constantly throughout this story. So when the wedding happens, afterwards we have a reception, all that stuff, and there is talk about Vesper rejoining the cult, and she's kind of in two minds all the time within this book. One moment she wants to join this cult and get back into the swing of things again, and the other time she just wants to leave and just carry on with her life. Acceptance is the big part of this book for Vesper, because members of this cult kind of look at her differently and regard her as being something that she's not. And with that said, they kind of look past her and only see that. They don't see Vesper the person. They only see what she's, what they think that she's destined to become and be. And that kind of conflicts with Vesper. She wants to feel accepted within this group and with these members of this cult. And then one minute she's like saying, "Well, yeah, this is me, take it or leave it," and yeah, she's very rebellious as a character. I've actually got to say, there is a part of this book, a big massive twist at the end. I mean, well, not at the end, about a third of the way through, and I was kind of debating whether to bring it up or not. I'm not going to, because it is a spoiler, and if you are planning to read this book, which I highly recommend that you do, especially if you are into horror or if you're trying to get into horror, it will kind of spoil that for you. But there is a point in this book where a character comes in to the book, and that kind of changes Vesper, and it turns the world upside down. Because this is a cult that worships Satan, you may be thinking, well, does the Dark Lord make an appearance in this book? I will say yes. This is a very difficult book for me to talk about because I don't want to spoil it, and if I talk about things I want to, then I will spoil it for people that want to read this book. So I think I will leave it there. I think I've given you enough information about this. What did I think? What did I like about this book? I like the characters in this. I like that it had a good flow to it. It was a very interesting story. Now, what I disliked about it is that this book really dragged a lot for me. It kind of gave me the impression that maybe Rachel didn't know exactly how it was going to play out and finish and end, and that resulted in me thinking that this book dragged a lot in places. It wasn't really unwelcomed or anything like that. I enjoyed reading these slower sections, but I feel that at least 50 pages could have been taken out of this book and it wouldn't really have changed that much of the story. I was going to say that another dislike was how conflicted Vesper always is throughout this book, but I suppose that is real. Isn't really much of a dislike or a complaint really, because we all have conflicting feelings regarding a wide variety of topics. And another dislike is that we don't really get to know many of the characters within this, or the members within this cult, rather than the bride and the groom for this wedding and Vesper's parents. We don't really know or get to know any of the other characters, which I thought it would have been nice to know how they affected Vesper when she was a member to when she came back, and what they did and all that stuff. Maybe some flashbacks. This book does leave on a kind of a cliffhanger, and I mean, I don't know if there's going to be a second book. I don't think there should be a second book to this. I don't think that there should be a sequel to this. I think that Rachel could easily write a sequel to this, and if she does, then yeah, I'm more than willing to read that. But I don't think she should. I think that this should be a one and done thing. I don't think that there should be a follow up to this. So what I'm going to rate Black Sheep by Rachel Harrison, I'm going to rate this a 4 stars out of 5. This was a massive surprise for me, and I enjoyed it, and I had a lot of fun reading it. And I cannot wait to read Such Sharp Teeth. I will do my absolute best to read that one in May. But let me know, have you read Black Sheep? What did you think about it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Have you read anything else by Rachel? If you haven't read this, let me know if I've maybe inspired you in some way to pick it up and give it a chance and give it a read. And if you've read anything else by Rachel, then please comment down below and I will check them out as well. I know that she has written a couple of other things as for this. That short story collection, Bad Dolls, I might pick up. But let me know if there's anything that I should read from this author, and I will, with pleasure, give them a chance and give them a read. So yeah, that's been my video for Black Sheep. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And with all that out the way, I'll see you in my next one.